The body's defences against general pathogens are known as the non-specific defence systems. These aim to stop any pathogen, not specific pathogens, from entering the body by providing an initial barrier. In humans, the first line of defence against infection is non-specific and involves barriers to infection. So these barriers prevent pathogens from entering the body. You don't need to define non-specific defence systems for the exam, but you do need to list what they are, which is what we're about to cover. Let's start by having a look at the main barrier that protects our body. The skin is an organ that covers the whole body and prevents pathogens from reaching the tissues underneath. For the exam, you need to know the example of the skin as a barrier to infection. This diagram shows a skin cross-section. The skin protects the tissues of our bodies from being infected by pathogens by acting as a barrier. The skin also releases antimicrobial secretions, which destroy dangerous bacteria. For the exam, you need to describe the skin as a non-specific defence system against pathogens and that it acts as a barrier to infections. So what happens if this barrier is broken? If the skin barrier is broken, platelets in our blood form a clot. So imagine that you've developed a wound. Almost immediately, platelets in your blood will form a clot. They do this by clumping around the wound. Remember that the platelets are a component of the blood and are responsible for forming clots and scabs. You should remember them from studying the different cells in the blood elsewhere in the course. Finally, a scab seals the wound. So then the clot dries into a scab and reseals the wound, preventing any more blood loss or pathogen entry. In addition to being able to describe the role of platelets, it's helpful to link this into the role of the skin as a barrier against pathogens. What about areas of the body that aren't covered by skin? In areas not covered by skin, we have other defences. For example, tears and saliva contain antibacterial enzymes. Lysozyme is an antibacterial enzyme in our tears that breaks down and destroys bacteria before they get into our bodies. Our noses also contain hair and mucus, which filter out larger pathogen-containing particles. So this hair and mucus filter aims to prevent pathogens from getting into our respiratory system. You don't need to learn this eye example for the exam, but you do need to know that the nose forms part of the non-specific defence system. What would happen if pathogens got past these defences? If pathogens get into our respiratory system, they are trapped in mucus released by special cells. These cells line the trachea and bronchi, and they have projections called cilia. They also produce mucus. You need to know this for the exam. Tiny hair-like projections, or cilia, waft this mucus up to the back of the throat where it's swallowed. So these cilia move the mucus along so it goes to the back of the throat. When this mucus containing the pathogens is swallowed, the stomach acid destroys them. This acid also destroys any pathogens that may be found in the food you eat. So then, for the exam, you need to know that the trachea and bronchi are lined with mucus, trapping pathogens which then get wafted up to the back of the throat by cilia. When it gets to the back of the throat, this mucus is then swallowed, and the acid in the stomach destroys any pathogens that might be found in it.
Thanks for watching. If you want to take your GCSE revision to the next level, head over to launchpadlearning.com and check out our smart learning platform that's been designed to get you top results in your exams. We cover your whole specification and make revision fun with interactive quizzes, easy-to-follow videos, and more. You'll be kept motivated by your own AI tutor who's here to support you every step of the way. To check it out for yourself, click here. Or click here to keep watching a selection of the videos from our full GCSE Biology course. See you there!